Hey guys, my name is Mike Caverly. I'm one of the academic advisors at the College of Education and Human Development. I'd like to talk to you all a little bit about the teacher certification requirements that are required of all teachers in the state of Texas. Now, this is not just a Texas A&M Corpus Christi thing. This is a state requirement. This is a state mandate that you guys meet these requirements. So the first requirement that I'd like to talk to you all about is the 9 hours of required English as part of your degree. Now, some of y'all in the special education certification may not necessarily get these English courses, so it's really, really important that you guys talk to your academic advisor to ensure a graduation is on time, okay? So one of the options is English 2316 to take right here where it says that 9 hours of required English. You could take English 1302, which is part of the core, but no longer for the from 2017, there's not necessarily 2 Englishes required as a core. Okay, so it's really, really important that you make sure that you take 9 hours to meet that English certification to meet the state requirement. The other course that's required by the state for the core is communication. Now, some of y'all may have transferred from Del Mar or maybe Austin Community College, and so you might have a course that's very similar to our public speaking course. But it's highly, highly critical that y'all get this communication course. You can see all of this on your degree planner. Just right here where it says teacher certification requirements, it says 9 hours of English right here, and then the comm course right here, okay? Right, so we're gonna talk now a little bit about the exams that are required. Now, some of y'all may have already had the THEA exam. If you have already taken the THEA exam, then you don't necessarily need to take the TSI exam. And I say necessarily there very, very carefully because it's context dependent upon how you did on the THEA and when you took it and all these other things. So it's really important that you guys talk to your advisor about what specific tests you need to take. Now, for those of y'all that may not necessarily be at that level yet, there's a new requirement to take the TSI exam. Now, the TSI exam, it will be required of all teachers in the state of Texas. The other requirement is the TB test. Now, that is a $10 test over at the Health Services Center. A background check will be conducted by the school that you field base at. The pre-assessment exam is preparation for your content exam for your specific course. So if you're after a PE cert, you're going to take a much different content exam than, say, the EC through 6 students, okay? The other exam, this is strictly for bilingual students. So all y'all bilingual students, make sure you pay really close attention to the supplemental exam and the BTLPT exam. Now, again, those are just for students studying the bilingual track. So none of y'all EC through 6 or the other certs other than bilingual will be required to take that. And then the final one is the PPR exam. This is kind of like a duty of care test. What happens if a student comes in with bruises all over them? And that's kind of a different test. It's not necessarily required for graduation. And then the final 2 requirements there are the field basing and the clinical teaching. And those, I think, are one of the most important parts of your degree. So that's basically the testing requirements for teacher cert in Texas. All right, y'all. Now I really want to talk about these hashtag courses that are specifically on your degree planner. Now again, this is context dependent. This degree planner we're looking at here is the EC through 6, not one of the math, bilingual, PE cert, or special education. This is just the EC through 6, okay? Now some of them kind of cross over within the concentrations, but make sure that y'all talk to your advisor about these hashtag courses. And I'll be honest, that's the running theme through this video is talking to your advisor because we love to meet y'all and make sure that we help y'all meet your goals. So the first requirement in here is the ED-UC 3311 course for the EC through 6 students. Now that course is going to be required of your degree, but it's also required in order to get into field basing, okay? So take that course as soon as you can, but make sure that you sequence it correctly. And that can be done by your academic advisor because we know when these courses are offered. Some of the other courses are the SMTE courses, SMTE 1350, SMTE 3315, and some of the other reading courses in here are going to be required in order to get into field base to then go into clinical teaching. Okay, so if you scroll down here, down around the bit where it says field-basing and clinical teaching, that clinical teaching is what we used to call student teaching, but the TEA, the Texas Education Administration, wants us to start calling it clinical. So the field basing, that will be kind of towards the end of your degree. You'll take, some of y'all will take $43.94 with that course in order to make sure that it's full-time for financial aid reasons, because you only get 10 hours out of that field basing. And I know a lot of y'all are on financial aid, and you have to have at least 12 in order to be eligible for financial aid. So that's a 6-month, or that's a 6-month thing, or a semester-long thing. Then you go into clinical teaching, and then clinical teaching, that's where you get to really engage the students in the classroom. So field basing is more like shadowing the student, then going to class and actually talking about it from 8 to 4 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then you got clinical teaching where it's straight 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, and you guys are an unpaid intern and you get to actually do a little bit of teaching. And I think you guys will really enjoy it. But the critical part of this part of the video is that y'all make sure you get these hashtag courses taken in order to get into that.